it's me, Ishihara Mizuki, again here today, doing Live2D stuff, which is very different compared to my usual feed. And today I will be starting my series. I will be using different models throughout this entire thing, so I can show different points. But for this first one, I'm going to be using my own model, and every model will be credited in the description. So this will be used as a kind of journal for my own experiences, but hopefully to help others out as well. It's kind of like an exploration, so Live2D for beginners. I guess let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so here we have my own model, and I will be using that to display all my points today. And you know what, it's real quick. I'm going to expand the canvas size so I can show everything off better. Here we go. So first off, right off the bat, to make sure your PSD is ready, I recommend you split everything into folders so you don't have to do it right at the end. So I split everything into front hair, eyes, head, body, and then back hair. Obviously, you can create subfolders as well. Eyes, I don't have any. Front hair, it's different outfits. Same with a lot of these. You also want an expression folder if you are going to have expressions, just so they're separate from everything else. You need to make sure everything is clearly labeled. If you want several mouths, if you want to have a side expression, but you want your mouth to move, you need to redraw that mouth again. You can have all the different parts. You can have the subfolders. And so, to make sure your PSD is ready for Live2D, you want to make sure everything is separated correctly, obviously. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that today. So first of all, obviously, you want the head to be separate by itself. And ideally, those tattoos should be a separate thing, but I didn't separate them. But if you want something to be more detailed and be more expressive in its movement, you can absolutely separate those. And again, right ear, left ear. Now we're left with the nose, and don't forget the skin around the nose so that it matches with the head skin. And when you deform your nose, it won't look wrong. And then, okay, here's a very crucial part. So, a very common mistake is that a lot of artists don't separate this mouth. So, the proper way to separate a mouth for Live2D is upper lip, lower lip, inner mouth, upper teeth if you want vowels, lower teeth, again if you want vowels, and then tongue. The best way to do upper lip, lower lip is just when you're drawing out your mouth, say for example like this, just copy and paste it, then you have two of the same, and then take your skin color, and on the top mouth, you want to draw in the skin so that it hides the inner mouth. And again, you want to, for your lower mouth, just do the bottom skin as well. And then merge it. And what a lot of artists will do is they will draw a, let's say for example, like a nice closed mouth, like this, with no lips, just the closed mouth, and then they will draw an entire mouth like this, or open. Now, in my experience, that is not usable for Live2D. I don't know any way around it, and a lot of people who work with Live2D do not use that kind of method. It has to be separated like this. And obviously, here's your side mouth. I just did the same thing. I drew it and then copied the inner mouth in, so I didn't have to redraw all of that as well. So that's a bit different. And then for your eyes, you want to separate into eyelid, top eyelash, mid eyelash, iris. Make sure you draw in the top. That was my mistake and I didn't do that, but you need to have a top drawn in. So like this. Eye whites, bottom eyelash, and highlight. You don't need to separate the highlights, but again, it's just something else you can do. It's the same for the other eyes, so I'm not going to do that, but then obviously you want eyebrows separated as well. And don't forget, you need to separate everything to the left and right. So technically, this is right, because this is the model's right from its perspective, and this is left, but I've labeled mine as right and left. Your rigger will probably be able to work with it anyway, or you will be able to work with it, and I will show you that. So it's not inescapable, like it's not unrecoverable. And then for hair, I separated it into mid bang, bang R, and I made sure to do the parts where you couldn't see it when I deformed it. Bang L, and then behind bang L. Again, it just covers it up because you don't want this to move, or at least I didn't want this to move. So that's why I drew a separate part. So when I have this moving, this won't move. Again, this is looking really cursed right now, but I mean, it gets worse, but it's not much. Yeah, just. I will also link a tweet in the description box that I made where I also laid this all out, so it should be easy to understand. So again, I just have the side hair here and drew in a bit you can see. Now this is a mistake that a lot of people make as well. You want to have the neck be separate to the body. And you need to draw in the part of the neck that you don't see, okay? So that when your, let's say for example, your model's head goes like this, you don't have gaps. Because then if you were like that, and obviously you'd have gaps. And again, just split everything as you feel necessary. This is one piece, but then this is separated into left and right. The back hair is separated into the top bit, the headband, and the bottom of the back hair. This has a bit of a mistake in it. There's like a chip in the layering, but this is meant to all be one solid color. I did not separate this any further than I need to, but you can also separate this into side parts so it has more movement. Like this. The only reason I didn't is because it doesn't move since it's connected. It's held in by the headband. And then, okay, so I'm gonna snap back and we're gonna go onto the body now. So here, you don't have to do this, but I separated my body into upper body. I separated the chest so that the bust physics looked better, and it was a lot easier to deform the chest without deforming the body. The cloth, I just put that there so I don't get fought by YouTube. Ring. The chest piece, the bottom of the collar, and the collar itself. Now obviously this looks curious, isn't its actual placing, whatever. Then we have lower body. Again, you probably want to do the shading on another layer, but I just combined mine. The cloth of the lower body. String. Then jewel 1. Left. And right. The belt is also just this. And then it's got the top knot and then little strings coming off it. Like this. Now, arm is just upper arm, the top of the pauldron, and if you're gonna see at the back of something when you turn, so for example, you might see the back of this pauldron, I just copied and pasted a layer, and this will be the back of it, but it looks more three-dimensional. You don't have to do this, but it looks better. And again, we just lower pauldron. These are 2 separate pieces. Front sleeve, and then back sleeve just to give it more color and so it pops more. And lower arm. We also get into top pauldron, bottom, the upper bottom, then that part, and then this. So this is all so that it can look in. It looks like it's inside the belt, but then also outside, which is how you are supposed to layer. And again, it's the same for the other side, so I'm not gonna go for that again. But again, I will link the tweet where I laid everything out in the description. And if people ask nicely enough, I may make a model where you can use it for free, or I can point others to models where it is separated properly, so that you have an example alongside this. And if I find one, I will put that in the description, of course. This time, naming conventions. So when you make your model, you want to have everything named correctly to save your rigger's sanity or your own sanity. Like whichever one, whoever's rigging it, you want to save their sanity. You don't want a bunch of layers, just like called layer 7, layer 6, so that your rigger or you have to flip through every single one of these layers. That is a no bueno. So basically, in Live2D, we name things by what they are and their location. So this is mid, and this is a bang, obviously. So this is bang left, and bang left behind. Then we have jewel right and jewel left, so R and L. You want to apply this for everything. You call it what it is, and then you just apply that. And for things like eyes, we have top eyelash R, top eyelash L. You want to split it into top, mid, and bottom, and obviously R and L. And body, I made a separate folder for my clothing. And then again, since most of this is separated into sides, it is just called like string. And then others, they have separate parts, so jewel middle, jewel R, jewel L. And you just want to repeat this for everything, even if the names sound extremely weird. Like, for example, I call this a belt pauldron. It's not the prettiest looking name, but I mean, it works. This is mid-cloth. Again, this is back sleeve R, and this is front sleeve R. And you just want to make sure that everything has a name and all your layers are merged appropriately and separated into L and R. This makes it a lot easier for you or your rigger, whoever's doing it, this is very, very important to get right so you don't drive yourself crazy. It's really not fun, I swear to God. Working on PSDs that have file name issues, it's no bueno. And I'm going into the wall, so I guess understandable. Have a great day. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will get the second episode out soon when we properly do stuff. Alright, I'll see ya. Bye!